Welcome back, everyone. You know, many people right now not just reflecting on the past year, but the past decade. That's right, 2010 is upon us. A list we saw, we want to talk about some more the most viewed television shows of the last decade. We've asked Jack Rico from ShowBizCafe.com, a bilingual website that covers entertainment and so many other things, to stop in. Jack, it's good to see you. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you.
Jack, you saw this list, and one of the things I thought was important is that we may not see these kinds of numbers again because the media landscape has changed even over the last 10 years.
Right. There's a lot of shows that are in cable that we probably saw, but they're not making this list. This list is mostly broadcast, you know, that reaches about 100 million people in the United States. And the number 10 that we are beginning this list with is Spin City. It's this show that Michael J. Fox was in. He was the deputy of New York.
Yeah, deputy mayor, yeah.
Right. So this one garnered about 32.8 million viewers in all of the United States.
This was its goodbye show, right?
This was, well, not, it wasn't the finale, but it was the last appearance of Michael J. Fox because his condition of Parkinson's began to deteriorate, so he couldn't do the show anymore.
Came on the show, I think?
Charlie Sheen came up for about 2 seasons, and because of low ratings, they ended up, you know, the demise of the show.
Number 9 also has New York ties.
Everybody Loves Raymond. This is one of those shows that, you know, all of America really liked a lot. It did about 32.9. It was the finale.
Okay.
A lot of American families really related and identified with a lot of the scenarios in each episode.
Family in Queens, I believe.
Right. And so what ended up happening is that the finale wasn't exactly very climactic. It was anticlimactic, but everybody
sometimes
still talks
are, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So we go to number 8.
Which is?
Frasier. You remember Frasier at Cheers, right?
Yep.
Comes over, does his own show, and this was not the finale, but it was the 7th episode where David Hyde Pierce played Niles and confesses his love to Daphne, who was getting married to somebody else in the 7th season. The reason it was a hit? 7 seasons of teasing the romance between these two that it came to a final culmination of, you know, you had one of those moments.
Right, okay. Next on the list, a game show, is that correct?
Yeah, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? I'm sure you were watching it too.
Yeah, sure, I was. I've watched it.
I imagine you were
want to be a millionaire. Yeah.
I imagine you were part of a Regis Mania. This was this game show took America by storm. Right. And one of the great things about it is it was one of those edge on your seat type of game shows, you know, where somebody's going to win $1 million. And right afterwards, you know, kind of people didn't watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire anymore.
Well, there was some
years
talk.
Later.
There was some criticism that ABC kind of went oversaturated when they started putting it on 2 or 3 nights. So this was the May 2000.
Right. So they shifted it over to daytime, and now NBC's own Meredith Vieira is the one still hosting the show currently on air.
Okay, all right. Grey's Anatomy. People love that show.
I still remember the promos of this show. This show did 38 million viewers in all the United States. It was right after Super Bowl 40. If you remember, some of the more controversial and intriguing plot lines was in this specific show. It wasn't the finale either.
No.
So what ended up happening with the show is that it had so many things to talk about. It was an explosion in the hospital that everybody kind of just tuned in, and that lagging over from the Super Bowl audience bled right into this show, and that's what made it one of the best shows in the top 6.
That's often why they do it. Okay. Yeah. We had to know this next show, coming in on 5 on the list, had to be on there somewhere.
Right. American Idol Season 6 premiere. You know, it's still on air, but what did great about the show is that American Idol had Sanjayan Malakar, which was the kid with the hair.
Sanjaya, of course.
Sanjaya, exactly. And so what ended up happening here is he became sort of the most talked about Idol contestant that specific season. Jordan Sparks went on to win it at the end, and she's now doing a live, you know, 2 albums with Jive Records. So
American Idol really kind of redefined part of what happens now with creating buzz and a whole movement.
Absolutely.
Another medical drama that was proudly here on NBC.
Absolutely. ER. I love this when George Clooney was still sort of a TV star instead of a movie star. The finale was really big. It was very controversial in terms of, you know, who's coming back, who isn't. It had a lot of drastic, sort of miserable moments, you could almost say. This one garnered 40 million viewers in all the United States, and a lot of people really enjoyed this one. But at the end of the day, a lot of people thought that it wasn't the best episode in terms of sort of just audience.
Capturing this. Okay. Reality TV was going to have to make the list at some point, right?
Right. Joe Millionaire. I love this. When this came out, this was one of the more original ideas in America. It was a one-time stunt because the second version of it didn't really count. And it was basically women were vying for the love of this millionaire who was really a construction worker. But that was the twist. And so the finale...
They didn't know, right?
No one knew, and then everybody had to tune in after, you know, that whole season. And I think everybody loved it.
And whatever happened to Joe Millionaire? Do we know? No. Okay, anyway.
Who knows?
Survivor. And a particular Survivor.
Right. First season of Survivor. You remember Richard Hatch. It's the first time $1 million was going to be given out. And again, very polemic, simply because of this man's behavior within the show. He was like naked on TV and everything. He was doing things that America didn't really approve of. But he was the guy that you love to hate. And that sort of compelling drama and tension was that carried the show in creating at least 51.7 million viewers.
Those are remarkable numbers. It was so new to see, and it still does fairly well.
And I'll give you, you guess number one. What do you think number one is? It's from NBC.
I would have to say it'd have to be about a group of people living in the city.
Friends. That's right. This one did 52.5 million viewers in the United States, and it's still not the highest rated show of the season.
No.
This one was after Super Bowl. This one actually was of the decade.
Okay.
But of their whole sort of history, this is actually in the second list, but it tops the decade one. This is the finale of Friends, and in this finale, basically, Ross and Jennifer Aniston kind of just do their thing, and everybody says goodbye.
Do their thing,
And after all these seasons, you had to tune in to find out exactly what happened.
Still live on in syndication. All new audiences are finding them. Jack, thanks so much for breaking down this list for me.
Absolutely, man. One of the things that wasn't on there was The Sopranos. Can you believe that?
Right. You explained because of cable and.
Right, it only did 11.9, so if those people are asking, well, why wasn't The Sopranos in it? It was in cable, and, not everybody has cable the way they have access to broadcast.
All right, Jack Rico from ShowBizCafe.com. Thanks, buddy.
You got it, man. Thanks.
We'll be right back.